anyways, so thank you so much. So let's just dive right in and tell me, so you work at HEB, and so what do you do at HEB? What's your position?
I personally myself like to say I do anything they need me to. I mostly belong in service, which is up front, right before you check out and everything. But I've worked in the gas station area, to the grocery part, to the produce part, back to the front, to the GM part. I like to be, whoever's right-hand man, whoever needs me that day. So I like to consider myself that.
And when did you first start with HEB? How long have you been working there?
Right out of high school 4 years ago. It'd be about, June 2016.
Now, when this pandemic began, especially for us here in Texas back in March, how did that impact you guys at HEB?
Well, we were kind of just thrown right into, I would say we were kind of thrown right into the pandemic. Us personally here in South Texas in our Victoria County, we didn't have cases until probably a month and a half, 2 months after it blew up big, in New York and in California, Florida. But here in Victoria County, we really didn't get any. Once that first one hit, or I would actually say before that first case hit here in our county, we had already grabbed the plexiglass right in front, put it right in front of our register, right behind it. We went to have sanitizing stations at every entrance and exit. We tried our best to navigate the aisles one way, but when that rush comes, you really can't watch it. But no, we took every precaution we can, and we just continue to get better every day at it. The more we learn, the more it gets better. So we've HB's done a very good job of handling the COVID situation.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember a few months ago, Vice did an article actually about HEB and how they said, one of the grocers in Texas had such an impressive response, straight, like very early on, like you said, with the glass, the stickers on the floor showing you how to stand 6 feet apart, having the splash guards at the cash registers. It just such a quick response. Even I noticed back in March and April when I was going to HEB, having traffic enter through one entrance and exit through another, and disinfecting the baskets, which they're still doing.
That was our number one move that we did. We took bug spray, like the grass spray, and we filled that with sanitizer. And every time a cart pusher comes in and pushes it in, we spray every single, the front, the side, and the handles mostly. We still have the car wipes, again, sanitizing station. So that the bug spray is one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, yeah, I remember seeing that. Now, when all of the panic buying began, what was the conversation like internally about how to deal with this?
The first, probably again, the first month or so, it was really, really bad. Right when it hit, shelves were empty. We had to HB. As far as I know, we really don't limit stuff unless things get bad, hurricanes, bad weather. We limited canned foods, toilet paper mostly, any dairy. So it really hit that first month. But our store hours went from 8 to 8, and us workers would help, or I would say daytime workers would help the night crew, and we would unload the trucks, load everything up. The only thing that was bad was it was always first come, first served basis, and not a lot of people were able to get their items. But again, we've done everything we can, and I think we're doing a fantastic job while doing it. So, but yeah, I think that was the best thing to do, was go from 8 to 8. But now we're back from 7 to 11. So.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. When they released that information that they were going to reduce the hours to give more time to restock. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember when they were like hiring people like same day even.
Yeah, we did get some I guess seasonal, what they would call them, some seasonal partners, and they helped out a lot, and we actually kept most of them. So especially with everything going on right now, we're gonna need a lot of people. So yeah, they helped us out a lot, a
Yeah,
whole lot.
that's good. And now you said that you've had lots of different roles throughout your time at HEB. Did you also kind of change different roles during this period, during the pandemic, or did you kind of stick to the same role?
Yeah. Well, going back to the 8 to 8, everyone that would work up front, who would work the cash register, who would push baskets. Our schedule would always be like, let's say 6 to midnight, the closing shift, or 4 to 10, but our store closed at 8. Those last 2 hours, I guess 4 to 10, from 8 to 10, we would go help the night crew. So that would be a way it changed. During the day, not so much, but I would say the biggest change from that was the helping out the night crew. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I definitely have been very impressed with HEB's response and like how safe I feel. Because, I don't really go out much these days, but I do feel comfortable going inside of HEB, and like, I feel like the employees are doing everything they can. And also just to keep, a pleasant atmosphere, because it is kind of a scary time, but I don't feel that it's changed the experience that I have. Everyone's still really friendly. They still help you with your shopping if you need help, which I think
you can't tell we're smiling with our mask, but I promise you we are.
Right. Yeah. Right. And that's something I have to keep reminding myself, is like, oh, they can't see my smile, but I am smiling. Yeah. Typically people kind of look down on these roles, as minimum wage or just something you do out of college. And then all of a sudden we're all applauding them as heroes, national heroes, for being on the front lines. And I think it just goes to show that everyone in society plays an important role in keeping this thing called life moving.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Especially in a situation like this, like, you guys are so essential. And so what was that, just personally, how did you feel going from maybe someone that the community didn't really think about much to being a community hero?
I don't really consider myself, I don't call myself an essential worker. I'm there to do a job. I listen to my main ups. We go from there. We all work as a team. When they tell me to do something, they're also doing it with us. I don't do anything for, I guess, for applause is what I should say. I was raised by 2 loving parents. I do it out of the kindness of my heart, I guess I should say. And I think that's what a lot of us employees do, or as partners, I should say, at HEB. We don't look at each other as essential workers. We don't look to get an applause. We just look to help our community. And, if they're happy with it, that's good with us. But, yeah, we're just going out there to help.
Do you feel like the communication from, your higher ups and your supervisors, and ultimately like HEB corporate, has been clear and transparent throughout this time?
Absolutely. To me, there's no better business personally. Of course, me working with them, I've seen firsthand the things will go from the corporate office to our store matters in minutes. We have they have a corporate text they send all the employees, whether there's a job opening, whether someone is sick, whether we need to take different matters into different hands. And I absolutely love the way they do it. Not a lot of businesses I know go from corporate to employee that fast.
Yeah, and I think that's so important, because it's already a scary time, full of so much uncertainty. And I think in every industry, it just makes things so much easier. We're not saying anybody has to have all the answers. We're all going through this. We're all in the same boat right now. But just that transparency just helps so much, for everyone to be on
Mm-hmm.
the same page, and that trickles down to the community as well.
It does. It does. I like to say that HEB puts community first over its own business sometimes. When Harvey hit, our store was the one that had the location of the HEB trucks that served the lunch and the breakfast. HEB is a community-driven business. They really are. That's me speaking personally. I know me as a part-time worker, I can't speak for the company, I guess is what I'm saying. But me personally, I see that we are community-driven.
Have you guys had to deal with any, like, Karens at the store?
You do get a couple.
Yeah.
That's just, I guess that's just another day, another day in retail. You get, all kinds of, I guess, Karens at a Sam's, at an Academy, at any mall store. You will have those. I feel like we're good to handle the situation. We're trained very well. We've done it a lot, so yeah, you do get a couple, but I think we're good handling it. You do get a few that are not really happy about wearing the mask, but other than that, I think our community knows what we're going through.
Yeah, and it's like, one thing that I wish people understood is that, wearing masks in public or at HEB is not, they don't need to take that out on you. You didn't write the executive order, so have some compassion and understand that we're all in this together,
Mm-hmm. We do have a couple, we do have quite a bit of cases for a small little town. I still consider us a town, even though we're big, like a city. But in our small town, we had a couple cases, but our store, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I remember it kind of scared me a little bit because things seemed to kind of be slowing down in May when the state reopened, and then at the beginning of June, the numbers blew up again, all over the state. And I remember in mid-July or early July, the stats came out that Victoria ranked 5th in the nation.
Yes, I saw that.
New daily cases per capita in the United States. And I was like, oh, that's just lovely.
That was on the New York Times, wasn't it?
Because
I saw that on the New York Times.
Yeah, and it outranked even some of the larger metro areas in Texas. So I was like, so did anything change internally once that became the case?
I wouldn't really necessarily say change. We knew that our cases were growing. We just, I guess we took it on our back and just, I guess, continued our same precautions, but tightened up on a couple more things. We we sanitized everything even more. Every other customer with the cashiers, hand sanitizer, wiping down the belt, wiping down the plexiglass, everything. I guess our certain store was just tightening up a couple more things. It is what it is. I always like to say you can't control the uncontrollable. I can control my actions. I can control around me. And like I said, if everyone does it as a team, then we can all get through this together.
I know we keep saying when COVID is over, although I don't know if that's really a realistic statement anymore. But, even in the midst of this, what is a message that you would like to send to the community?
Just keep, be patient with us. We're working as hard as we can. I wouldn't say be patient. I would say just continue to be, because the community's working just as hard as we are. We have, postal men working out here. We have the people in restaurants. We have people in department stores. We have a lot of people working together. So if we continue to work hard, this thing will eventually end. I guess let's all work together as a community, because once you work as a community, you work as a county, you work as a state, you work as a country. It all becomes one. And Victoria is strong about that. We're all one. We'll continue to work hard. Our community will continue to work hard, and we'll all get through this. We'll know we will.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
No, thank you.